Most recently, we looked at adding and subtracting decimals. And with adding and subtracting decimals, the big rule was line up the decimals. Well, now that we're moving into multiplying decimals, don't worry about lining up the decimals. In fact, I encourage you, don't line up the decimals when multiplying. Okay? It just adds you extra steps that are unneeded and cause more confusion. So for adding and subtracting, line them up. For multiplying, ignore them. Let's get to our steps and you'll see what I'm talking about, and then we'll apply the steps, and then we'll practice the steps, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. So here we go. Here are the steps for success in multiplying decimals. Step one, do an estimate. Just estimate your answer to see what you could expect. Okay, round the numbers and see what you think. Okay, just get a close estimate. Step two, this may seem odd, but I want you to ignore the decimals for now. Pretend like they're not there. Step three, rewrite the problem without the decimals, and I want you to place the number with the most digits on top. Now notice I didn't say the largest number. Notice I didn't say the number with the greatest value. I said the number with the most digits. Okay? Step four, follow the steps for multi-digit multiplication. So I'm talking about the steps that you learned in elementary school, 4th, 5th grade, when you did things like 135 times 25. And we'll practice those steps. But notice there were no decimals in there. You're just going to follow those exact same steps and pretend like the decimals don't exist. Step five, go back to the original problem. Count how many digits, how many numbers are to the right of the decimal in the problem. Now give your answer that many decimal places. All right, so get all those steps written down, pause if you need to, and now let's practice these and put them into place. Okay, so let's start with step one. I want to estimate. Okay, well this is close to 4 if I rounded that up. 4 3/10 is really closer to 4 as well. So 16 is my estimate. Now it may be a little higher, and that's okay, but I know it should be in that ballpark. And if I get an answer like 163, that's impossible. So I know I've messed up somewhere. All right. Step two said ignore the decimals. And step three said rewrite the problem without the decimals and put the number with the most digits on top. And since they both have the same amount, then it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to make this problem 35 times 45. Go back, and now I'm just going to do multi-step multiplication. 5 times 5, 25. Put the 5, carry my 2. 5 times 3, 15. Plus 2, 17. I'm done with the 5. Move over place value. Put a 0 there. Go to the 4. 4 times 5, 20. Carry my 2. 4 times 3 is 12. Plus 2 is 14. Go ahead and add straight down. 5, 7, 5, 1. Now right now I have an answer of 1,575. And my estimate was 16. Okay, we'll go back to that last step. Count the digits to the right of the decimal in the original problem. Okay, so let's do that. I go back to the original problem and I say, okay, well there's 1 digit and there's 2 digits to the right of the decimal. So guess what? My answer needs that many digits to the right of the decimal, which means I'm going to go start all the way here to the right and I'm going to count 1, 2, and there's my decimal. So 3 5/10 times 4 3/10 equals 15 75 hundredths. Let's try it again. Okay, estimate. Well, 12 2/10 is the same thing as saying 12 times 1 3/1000 is like saying 1. So my estimated answer is somewhere around 12. Should be pretty close. Okay, I'm going to rewrite the problem, but ignoring the decimals. But it says put the one with the most digits on top. So you know what? This one is going to go on top. This one is going to go down here. But I'm ignoring the decimals. They don't exist. All right, here we go. Multi-digit multiplication. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 0, 0. 2 times 0, 0. 2 times 1, 2. Done with the 2, put a 0. Well, I should know all this. 2 times 3, 6. 2 times 0, 0. 2 times 0, 0. 2 times 1, 2. Okay, now I'm done with that 2. So now I have to move over 2 places. And then multiply by 1. So 1 times 3 is 3. Times 0. Times 0. Times 1. Add. 6. 6. 3. 2. 2. 1. Now right now that says 122,366. My estimate says 12. So I kind of know already where the decimal's probably going to go, but let's follow our step. And it said count how many are to the right of the decimal. So I count 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to go from all the way over here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 12 and 2 tenths times 1 and 3 thousandths is 12 and 2,366 10 thousandths. And that is my final answer right there. One last one. Okay, estimate. This is close to 2. This is close to 11. So I'm giving an estimated answer of 22. All right, ignore the decimals. Oops. Ignore the decimals. Rewrite it. Most digits on top. Multi-digit multiplication. 5 times 6, 30. 5 times 5, 25. Plus 3, 28. 5 times 0 is 0. Plus 2 is 2. 5 times 2 is 10. Okay. Done with the 5. Put a 0. Well, this is a 0 here. So this is all just going to 0 out. Okay. So done with that. 2 zeros. This is a 1, so this is easy multiplication. 1 times 6, 6. 1 times 5, 5. Times 0, times 2. And then add. Now, be careful to keep all of your numbers in rows, because that will mess up your addition. Those are all zeros. 8, 8, 5, 1, and 2. So my estimated answer was 22. Gives me a good idea of where my decimal is probably going to go. But let's just count and see. We want to make sure we do it right. So I count 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So let's try that. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 2 and 56 thousandths times 10 and 5 tenths equals 21 and 5,880 10 thousandths. There's my final answer. Your turn. All right. I will see you in class tomorrow.